What's up, y'all? It is Friday, and welcome to another edition of On the Needle. So, I'm about to go ahead and get straight into it. En Vogue, this album now playing. So, most times when record companies put out these kind of compilations or greatest hits, a lot of times they're against the artist. Sometimes you kind of hear backlash behind it. So I'm not sure what the story is on this particular album, but whoever is behind, I know at that time they were signed to Atlantic when they were in their heyday. So the powers that be at Atlantic Records, thank you for this. Whew. And thank you to the retail stores too, because this is a very inexpensive album. So for those of you who are vinyl collectors, it can be an expensive habit because you really can't get a vinyl brand new, unused, kind of current day type of music or within the last 20, 30 years or so that's mainstream, even if it's independent, really, for less than about $30. And that's a pretty good price. This I got for $19.99. So one of my best friends, who actually was the first person to introduce me to vinyl, she got this album too. One of our record store trips that we took recently, and so when I saw it at Josie Records here in Dallas, I thought, "Oh, I need to get this," because I looked at the track listing. And let's just take a minute. There's 10 songs on here, so let's get into this track listing. So, no big frills here. But as you could see on the front cover, it's all four original members. Original. So I'm not here to see EV3 when it was the original three minus Don. I don't want to see the new lineup. I went to a concert last year. It was the Hot Summer Nights tour, which was very good. It was TLC, Shaggy, Sean Kingston, and En Vogue. So I missed En Vogue the very beginning. I didn't realize they were going to open the show. I kind of thought Sean Kingston was going to open the show, but apparently they did. So I got there a little bit too late, but I really wasn't impressed about missing En Vogue. As long as I got to see TLC and Shaggy, I was good. And Sean Kingston was better than I expected, honestly. But I say that to say I'm not interested in anything besides these original four. So, like I said, this track listing, let's get into it. Hold On, their first single. Lies, that's one of my favorite En Vogue songs. They're a group, so just let's pause here for a second and explain or give props to the dynamic between just those two songs. So you have Hold On, which starts off kind of slow, and really showcases their ballads and how well they can do on a ballad. And then they also carry um, the up tempo songs well. Even though Hold On wasn't up tempo, it starts off more of just this slow R&B. And then Lies, I feel like it's a little bit more edgy. It's kind of like that hip hop infused R&B type sound. Don't Go, love that song too. My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It. Of course, everybody knows that song. That's one of the biggest ones. Giving Him Something He Can Feel, which was a remake that they did. Now, mind you, all of this happened in the early 90s. So, En Vogue was the first black female group to really usher in the 90s. Before you had TLC, who is my favorite female group of all time. And before you had SWV, of course, Escape, Destiny's Child, all those others. En Vogue was the one to really usher that era in. And then they had Free Your Mind. So Free Your Mind, they caught a little bit of flack from that song. I remember when it came out because it was such a departure from a lot of their other music. And I think a lot of people couldn't take it at that time, but it went on to be one of their biggest hits. And honestly, one of my favorite songs. I love how in this song, and really in the group's catalog in particular, or in general, I should say, each member can hold their own extremely well singing lead. I don't know any other girl group that can do that. Y'all let me know when you find one. But every other girl group, either they're a mixture of hip hop and R&B, where you don't have all singers. You may have a rapper like TLC Black, which as much as I love TLC, if we're talking just vocals, you can't compare them to En Vogue. There's no comparison. I feel like Escape has members that can sing really well. They can sing lead well, but again, not to the level that Destiny's Child. I'm sorry, I was about to say something about Destiny's Child. Not to the level of En Vogue. A lot of people may argue and say Destiny's Child. No. Kelly and Beyonce, yes. Michelle, no. I'm just gonna leave it at that. No hate against Michelle. She has a great voice, but again, with the type of lead singing style that these four can do, no, nobody is holding them to me. Give It Up, Turn It Loose, another up tempo. As I was looking through this track list, and I thought, you know, En Vogue, I think a lot of times they're known for some of their slower songs like Don't Go, Don't Let Go. Love the song from the Set It Off soundtrack, which I love that one, which was produced by Organized Noise, which is a little known fact and just really showcases their range. Organized Noise is one of the best production crews ever, I think, just in my opinion. And this rounds out with the songs Whatever and Too Gone Too Long. So um, Whatever and Too Gone Too, now Whatever was kind of around that time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and that was produced by Babyface, where Dawn was phasing out of the group, and then the same with Too Gone Too Long, where it was EV3. So I say that to say, for an album like this, where it's a greatest hits, you have one, maybe two songs where you have one of those original members that's gone, and it's still, the music still made the kind of impact to still be included on here, which if you let Dawn tell it, as she said over the years, that EV3 album technically has some of her vocals on it still. It's just you're not seeing her in the forefront as far as promotion and things like that, and she's not singing lead. I think they took out her leads, but according to her, backgrounds, all that kind of stuff, she's still on that album. But yeah, I'm just curious to know what you all's thoughts are about En Vogue. Again, like I say, to pick this up for $19.99 with all of these hits on this record is a steal to me. And what do you think about the group? Do you think they could ever bury the hatchet and reunite? At this point, I will say, even though I really just want to see the four, I will be open to five. Rona, the new member that they have, or newest member, I should say, because she's not new anymore. She has a great voice. I do think she can sing. And in some ways, I think that she was dealt a bad hand because people are going to always compare her to the original members. But I would love to see some type of a reunion tour or concert or something similar to what Tony did last year on their tour. I missed that tour, by the way, where they brought back Raphael Sadiq. But something like that, I think, would be awesome. Hell, I even take a Lucy Pearl tour at this point, because for those who may have forgotten, Lucy Pearl only came out with one album, and they were this super group with Don from En Vogue, Raphael Sadiq, and I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank. Ali Shaheed, one of the members from Tribe Called Quest. Dope group, dope album. They should have really continued. I've heard a couple things from both sides as to why that group didn't make it, but love them. They were a great group, but I would love to see En Vogue really get back with the original members, maybe Rona, if they have to, as an addition. But let me know what your favorite songs are from them. Who do you think is the best female group of all time? And as always, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the new subscribers that I've been gaining every week. So we are getting closer and closer to 500. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone that's recently subscribed, to those that leave comments and likes, shares, all of that. Really appreciate it. In case you have not checked it out, also make sure you tune in to the Water Bearer podcast, the sister channel. We're on season 4, episode 3. I just released episode 3 last night. And so you can check that out and catch up on the podcast. And thanks for the support. Really appreciate it. And everyone have a great, wonderful, safe weekend. Peace.